Guys, I thought today was gonna be the day that I get my induction on the books, but let me tell you what happened. And we're gonna ignore all this because my kiddos got into makeup and they got it all over me. To the doctor Friday, and she was like, we're gonna schedule your induction for 39 weeks, so go to the inductions office. And so I was like, okay, cool. There, and the lady who's always scheduled my inductions, her office, I could tell she wasn't in there, so they said, okay, just wait on this girl and she's gonna help you out. I waited and I went in there when she called me back there, and you ever just get the feeling like immediately like, this is just not, this is about to be complicated. And I was like, hand her the little paper, you know, from my doctor, and I was like, I need to schedule this. And she's like, okay, well, it's already past 12:30, and the lady who schedules, like, who I'm gonna call up at the hospital, she leaves at like 12 on Fridays. I was like, okay, so we only have one person that schedules inductions for this entire place, but okay. And she took my paper and she said, we will call you Monday morning. And when she set her paper down, or my paper down on her desk, I was like, this is just it's gonna fall through the cracks. So I wake up bright and early today because where we live, our cell phone service is like terrible. And I was like, okay, I wanna make sure I'm up right when this office is open, because surely what they're gonna do is come in Monday morning, get the work that they couldn't get finished Friday, and call up all these mamas that are sitting here waiting on their induction dates. Well, I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, and 11 o'clock comes around, still nothing. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like write them on my patient portal and be like, hey, haven't heard anything, was supposed to hear something this morning, you know, any update? Well, 1 o'clock comes around, still nothing. And my husband's like, so we don't know anything, my boss is asking, and I'm like, I have not heard anything. At this point, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna give them a call. Maybe I can talk to someone over the phone instead of having to wait for the patient portal stuff. Call the front office, they send me to one of the girls' voicemails, leave a voicemail, wait 2.5 hours, so it's like almost closing time for the doctor's office. Still hadn't heard anything, but I also don't want to be that person who's just like over annoying, you know, like I don't want to keep calling and pestering, but I'm also like, this is my birth plan, this is labor about to happen, and I'm also being induced because they don't want this baby to get to 10 pounds. So I decided to call right close to closing. Like they close at 4:30, I called at like 3:30, so about an hour before they actually close. And I got a really good front office worker this time, and I was like, hey, like, just needing to know about this induction so that way I can let my husband's work know, you know, is there anyone I can just talk to instead of like leaving a voicemail? And she was like, oh yeah, absolutely. She's like, totally understand, let me put you through to our main girl. So the main girl gets on the phone, she's like, hey, you know, we tried to call the hospital earlier today for you to schedule your induction, and they're completely booked. I was like, okay, so what am I gonna do? I have two problems, okay? And let me just be completely, perfectly clear. This is my 6th baby with this doctor's office. I know how this doctor's office works. If they would have got that answer this morning, this lady would have called me and said, hey, they're booked, so we're just gonna have to do plan A, B, C, D. So I kind of feel like things kind of slip through the cracks, and this is the way of handling it, but okay, whatever. So basically what I have to do is hopefully get an induction date next week if somebody goes into labor by themselves or cancels their induction. And I'm like, who's canceling their induction? Okay, I kind of feel like I'm gonna get a call in the morning because my gut just tells me that my first reaction of being like, this is gonna be complicated, this is what it was gonna be. Plus my doctor is absolutely amazing, and she's not gonna risk me having to have a C-section over a scheduling conflict. So that's just a little update for you on my pregnancy, and yeah, I probably will be stressed out and have a little bit of anxiety until I get this date on the books, because that's just how it is right now.